Most people spend their entire lives worshiping the wrong god. They believe that wealth is a byproduct of a high IQ, elite diplomas, and natural-born brilliance. They think the smartest person in the room is the one destined for the throne. But the truth is far more cold and calculated. Wealth does not belong to the genius. It belongs to the man with strategic awareness. Machiavelli's ancient truths have never been more relevant than they are in today's digital coliseum. Fortune does not smile on the good or the wise. It smiles on the man who walks with a purpose. It doesn't care about your bloodline, your prestigious family name, or your colorful past. It only respects the man who has the courage to take the step. When the public looks at a billionaire, they see a story of extraordinary intelligence. But when you peel back the layers and look closer, you realize it wasn't a high IQ that built the empire. It was a man who saw the board, identified the move, and had the guts to make the play. 1. The trap of intelligence. The world is full of geniuses who are broke. Why? Because strategy eats intelligence for breakfast. While the intellectuals are busy drowning in risk assessments and weighing an infinite number of possibilities, they become paralyzed. They cannot move. They see the storm on the horizon and refuse to leave the safety of the harbor. But the Machiavellian man knows that the greatest danger isn't the storm, it's stagnation. Modern education has committed a fatal error. It teaches you how to analyze every detail, but it completely forgets to teach you how to ACT. Wealth finds the man who stays in the arena, the one who remains on the field while others retreat to the sidelines. You don't need to be a genius to win. You just need to stay in the game long enough and be patient enough to stack your strategic levers. Machiavelli's advice is simple and lethal. Move. Even if you feel regret later, move anyway. Because hesitation is a poison that only makes time your enemy. And time will eventually devour everyone. Real success isn't built on a foundation of IQ. It is built on emotional endurance. It is an almost foolish belief in your own mission. Wealth isn't generated by a single brilliant idea. It is the result of continuing to push forward despite the shame, despite the boredom, and despite the crushing weight of failure. Without action, intelligence is powerless. 2. The power of silent accumulation. Machiavelli understood a fundamental human flaw. People do not weigh your essence, they weigh your appearance. If you want to build power, you must project confidence and maintain consistency. If you appear certain, the world will first accept you, and then eventually it will believe in you. The real question isn't, am I smart enough? It's, can I remain in motion while everyone else is doubting, quitting, and overthinking? Money does not flow toward wisdom. It flows toward risk. Wealth does not arrive in a straight, predictable line. It accumulates in the shadows. It grows in the silence. It grows during those long, lonely winters where nothing seems to be happening. And then, suddenly, it explodes and dominates the stage. If you cannot endure the desert, you will never reach the oasis. Most people fail because they expect an immediate return on their effort. But in the real world, effort is merely deferred currency. The work you do today might not pay you until next month, or even next year. Many of the world's greatest enterprises were on the brink of total collapse before they suddenly skyrocketed from zero to millions. Why? Because the person at the helm could endure the silence. 3. The discipline of invisibility. The average person loses their patience because they are constantly seeking validation from others. If you can delay the reward, you effectively eliminate your competition. Your rivals, your enemies, and even your friends will disqualify themselves because they lack the discipline to wait. Discipline is a self-eliminating weapon. If you want true wealth, you must be prepared to stay unapplauded. Few can handle this. Most people need to be seen. They need the spotlight to feel alive. But empires are built in the darkness. They are only revealed to the world through a moment of shock. Building a capital reserve isn't just about the money. It's about buying back your time. When you pay off your debts and set aside a courage fund, you aren't doing it for security. You're doing it so you can make big moves without the fear of hunger. The man who isn't worried about his next meal is the only one truly free to take the risks that open the gates to imperial success. Most people think they need more money. What they actually need is more courage. Machiavelli warned us, all paths are risky. The smart man chooses the path with the least danger, but he realizes too late that the greatest risk of all is rotting away in a safe job while his pot. For the economy of pain and value. Do not fall for the passive income fairy tale. Passive income is not passive. It is the reward for active mastery. Investing is not a shortcut. It is a secondary game. First, you must learn how to win, how to earn, and then you learn how to protect and multiply. If you skip the steps, you will pay a heavy price. Money will not work for you until you have first shown that you can work for it. The market does not care about your good intentions or your empty hopes. The market only pays for the pain you solve and the value you create. This is the ultimate tipping point. Money does not chase effort, it chases value. You can work until your hands bleed, but if your work is easily replaced, you will remain poor. Real wealth is reserved for those who solve the problems that others cannot or will not touch. Excellence is like gravity. If you are truly, undeniably good at what you do, you will naturally pull people and capital toward you. Machiavelli knew that reputation is a weapon sharper than any sword. Honor doesn't come from a title. It comes from producing results that cannot be ignored. When the market views you as the only solution, you no longer have to run after money. Money runs after you. 5. The law of competitive dominance. Value is not just about producing. It is measured by the amount of agony you remove from someone's life. If you can eliminate the things people hate, if you can solve the problems they can't endure, you will find your fortune. The difference between a good product and a legendary one isn't the benefit it offers. It's the scale of the pain it kills. When you solve a problem so deep that people cannot ignore it, the entire market will bow to you. Machiavelli's advice to princes was brutal. To maintain power, you must eliminate your rivals. In the world of business, the rule is the same. A truly successful product doesn't just compete. It slowly consumes its rivals until they are irrelevant. Wealth is born from solutions that leave people with no other alternative. Always ask yourself, what pain am I solving? Who else is solving it? And how can I do it faster, cheaper, and with more certainty? If those questions scare you, you're on the right track. Big wealth doesn't come from solving small neighborhood problems. It comes from targeting global agony. 6. The king's mindset. No one starts at the top. Everyone starts at the bottom, doing invisible work. You solve the simple problems first to build your reputation. With every new level, the reward multiplies, but so does the required endurance. Wealth isn't just about the numbers in your bank account. It is the measure of the power you have gained. The hardest part of this journey isn't convincing the crowd. It's convincing yourself. It's about continuing to walk when you are unheard, unseen, and unvalidated. Most people lose because they cannot handle the lack of applause. Stop confusing savings with wealth. Saving money won't make you rich, but it will give you oxygen. It gives you the breathing room to be more aggressive on the field. The man who has nothing to lose can make the massive, world-altering plays that the comfortable man is too terrified to attempt. Wealth is born from the courage of the man who is no longer hungry. The greatest enemy of your potential is comfort. Comfort is a set of invisible chains, a pranga that most people wear until they die. They chase the miracle or the easy win, but Machiavelli reminds us, fortune belongs to strategic courage, not to dreams. 7. The conquest of self. One of the most dangerous mental traps is looking at what others have. When you obsess over someone else's success, you become a slave to envy. You lose your focus, and when your focus is stolen, your wealth follows. A king does not spend his time counting another man's treasure. He prepares his army and expands his own borders. Don't wait to feel confident before you act. Confidence is not the cause of action, it is the result of it. You don't become rich by saying, "I can do it." You become rich by starting. Machiavelli's final truth is the most piercing. Power is never given, it is taken. Wealth is never a gift, it is a conquest. Stop hiding in books and start getting onto the field. You don't get warm by reading about fire. You get warm by chopping the wood and lighting the flame yourself. Every small step you take today is a vote for the person you will become tomorrow. The world will never pay you for your good heart or your noble intentions. It will only pay for concrete solutions and undeniable value. Fortuna yields only to the bold. This game has no mercy. In the end, the winner isn't the one with the highest IQ. It's the one who stayed on the field the longest, took the most strategic risks, and refused to be broken. Now get to work.